love, light, healing vibrations. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for taking a moment to be present. Thank you for tuning in. I pray you're well. Pray you're getting grounded. Pray for your healing. I pray for your centering, and I pray for your connection to self as well as your connection to source. There is a message that came to me right before I got up, and so I was like, okay, I have to share this. Hopefully you can hear me. Most High allow me to channel this message to the best of my ability. Please allow this message to be clear and concise. Any black magic, hexes, curses, evil eye, I return back to sender ×3. I welcome only love and gratitude, and I return that back out into the universe ×10. All right, so the message that came to me is to make sure you are protecting yourself to the best of your ability. This includes staying away from people, places, and things, specifically people that you know don't mean you well. You have to get better with your boundaries. You have to get better with standing firm, standing your ground, and standing on business, whatever that may mean to you. Granted, not everybody is the same, so you don't have to treat everyone the same. And I pray that you are not in a mistrustful mindset, but you do have to be firm with boundaries. When I was younger, I would say about like 18, even early 20s, going into early 20s, I would have these so-called friends. I would have these so-called friends, and I would know deep down in my gut, right? My intuition would try to talk to me, but I wouldn't trust it, or I would overlook it, or I just wouldn't listen to what my body was telling me, because energy never lies. Rich rising, you guys. Yeah, so I wouldn't trust my intuition or my gut, but I would know deep down that these so-called friends that I had, they were not good for me. So I would do things like, sometimes when I get moody, I would either block them, and then later I would unblock them, because I knew deep down, not only were they not my friends, right? And not only was I not listening to my intuition, my gut, you know, I probably listened for a split second, but I wouldn't really take what my body was trying to tell me into a lot of consideration. I would block them, and I would unblock them, because I was not comfortable with being alone, right? I thought I needed friends. I thought that these people that I was hanging with were my friends, and that goes for both females and males. But I knew deep down I was not supposed to be hanging with these people, because they were not. Everybody has their own trials and tribulations, but if you pay attention, you can tell whether or not somebody is of good to you, for you, they add to your life, and vice versa, right? So these days, I'm totally, completely different from how I was when I was younger. I dealt with a lot of manipulation. I was around a lot of emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, spiritually abusive people, because some of these people had source, God, spirit in their life, and some of them didn't. Some of them were just not in tune. Some of them were being misled, so in return it kind of rubbed off on me. I was not as present as I am to this day. So with having these crowds of people around, or being around these crowds of people, you know, I didn't feel stable within my own judgment. I already had to cleanse myself of my ancestral trauma, generational trauma, emotional trauma, mental trauma that was passed down from my bloodline. I can just imagine what these people were dealing with, you know what I mean? Because if you pay attention to somebody's patterns will tell you everything you need to know. If you pay attention to somebody's movement, somebody's body language, like there's there's subtle informations with how somebody moves and how they show up and how they treat you or treat other people. Like, it sets the tone for what is going to happen or what you will either welcome or avoid or entertain or whatever in your life. But with eventually, slowly but surely, eventually removing myself from these people's lives and allowing them to be removed from my life, I gained more peace. There were certain, I would even say female friends, as well as male interests or whatever. There were female friends that I had growing up, and specifically one, I remember crying because she would make jokes. She was a different skin tone than me. She was much bigger than me, and it's not that I was scared of her. I just realized her low self-esteem and her insecurities would attack my confidence that I was steadily working on and building on. So I found myself crying simply because her soul was taking a toll on my spirit, because she was not at peace, and rather than working on herself like how she could have been, she was trying to make me insecure. She was trying to make me have low self-esteem. She was trying to make me second guess and self-doubt myself, you know. And slowly but surely, I eventually had to distance myself from her because there was nothing positive there. Even though I was a light and, you know, it was always cool vibes and nothing problematic chilling with me, this person was not secure within herself. And so I had to let go because I didn't like the way that I was feeling when I was around this person, and I didn't like the things that this person was doing. And I know for a fact, subconsciously, this person probably had no idea. But it's not even about giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, because if you do that your entire life, you'll be just like them. Rich rising, you guys. Yeah, bullying is a very real thing. You definitely need to keep your circle small. God, prayer, love, and light, absolutely. It's not even so much to vent, it's just I have a very close connection and relationship with Source, and so when I get told to release information that has served me well, I hope and pray that somebody else is able to pick up on it and they can use it or pass it on. Hi, Rich Rising, thank you guys for tuning in. What do you do differently now when meeting new people? Honestly, I've grown comfortable with being a loner. Like, so I know that I can hang out with people. I know that opportunities will always be there, and I'm pretty sure there are people that would like to hang out with me, but I've grown comfortable in my skin of just walking alone. My dad told me when I was younger, in regards to relationships and friendships and even the world, you have to love yourself. So my dad, he taught me what love was. He taught me how to love myself, right? Self-love. And he gave me unconditional love. And he told me at a young age, I would say maybe 18 or 19, he told me, before you can love anybody, you have to love yourself, and you have to get comfortable with taking yourself out on dates. You have to get comfortable with going places alone, you know, because if you can't do these things for yourself, you're never going to be able to enjoy somebody else's company the way you should, you know. And it makes a lot of sense looking at it now, because at first, when he told me, it's not that I was trying to let it go in one ear and out the other. It's more so I heard him and then I was kind of like, whatever, because it's like, we have other people around us and other people in this world for a reason. Nobody wants to just do things by themselves all the time. Nobody wants to go places by themselves. You know, you want a friend, you want a romantic interest, you want these things, but in reality, you don't need them. I realized with stepping into the power of walking alone, my life is a lot more peaceful. And it's not that I don't hang out with people. I go where I get guided, and I spend as much time as I get told to. And then when I get told to leave, I leave, because I don't have attachments. I'm connected to everything and everyone, but I don't have attachments, meaning I don't have to stay. A lot of people will make excuses and put up with BS because of a friendship, because of a relationship, because of a connection. And if you are not being good to yourself, ultimately you're causing your own demise within your life. I feel you're stealing from your own joy, you're stealing from your own lifespan, you're stealing from your own life force, because life within itself has its own troubles. Why would you voluntarily want to add somebody else's trials and tribulations to your plate? Even though we do that, sometimes we do that, but when you become a conscious person and you're aware, you're better off alone. You know, things become a little more easier. And I've realized with going places, even though I go alone majority of the time, I'm never alone. I'm never alone because I have spirit with me. I'm never alone because there are other people there. And then there are times where I try to stay in my bubble, but because of my energy being loud, I attract all kinds of people, places, and things to me. And as long as it's a natural, organic, a healthy interaction, I don't mind entertaining it or even reciprocating it, because I know we are all in need of something, and in order to receive properly, you have to give. First, you have to give to yourself, then you can give to others, then you can pour into the rest of the world, but you want to make sure you're steadily doing that from jump to yourself. I want to say I've made videos. I have to go back and see if they're public, if I put them private. I've made videos about bullying. I was bullied when I was younger. I also did bullying, so I've been on both sides of the spectrum. Neither one is cool. I would say elementary, middle school, and then I kind of slowed down. But I know it's not a good feeling. I know it makes you feel bad, you know, you get shame, you get guilt, but all of that is really somebody else's energy, so don't take it on as yours. You're not assigned to that. Whatever you're going through, make sure you're dealing with that to the best of your ability, and if you need help, pray, ask for help. You have to pray, you have to meditate, that way you can receive the information you need so you can use your tools that you've been given to the best of your ability. I've realized some girls are just not chill. And I say that to say, my dad specifically told me, I want to say when I was probably 24, that women, not women, I would say, how do I say this without being offensive? Some ladies are more dangerous and devious than a man. You know, a woman can set you up, a female can set you up for a man, right? Because a man can be just as dangerous, just as devious, just as malicious. But I've realized with a lot of girls, young-minded girls, immature girls, childish girls, hurt girls, a lot of girls are very evil. They're very confrontational, they're very judgmental, they're very critical, they're very wicked, evil-spirited, you know. And these are souls and low vibrational energies that you want to stay away from, because not all women are like this. There are some women that are just, they're chill. You know, there are some women that don't have a problem with people. They try not to make things a problem. They try to just, you know, accept people as they are. But it's all about discernment. I didn't know what discernment was, but the year my father passed, it was a lady at church who told me, pray for discernment. And it took a second for it to naturally come, because the way I usually get my information is it will come to me in due time if I don't understand it, and then I have to better my skill set. I have to better absolutely, I had to better my understanding. And again, going back to even meeting new people, you don't want to be trying to analyze everybody, and you don't want to be trying to figure out what people are about, or, you know, it, like, you don't want to put yourself in a mistrustful mindset. But if you just listen to somebody, they will tell you about themselves. Uh, Behavior patterns never lie. The way somebody is speaking, are they speaking to you or are they speaking at you? You know, are they just simply trying to inform you or are they trying to convince you of something? You know, there's a difference in tones. Their breathing methods, you know, are they able to look you in your eye? Are they able to, is there some sense of comfortability there? Like, what kind of energy do you pick up on? Does it feel, do you feel energized? Do you feel uplifted or do you feel drained? Do you feel uncomfortable? These are key points that are going to tell you about somebody's character, because a lot of people are wearing masks. A lot of people are walking in illusions. A lot of people are creating illusions, and they're portraying and trying to trick you, basically pull wool over your eyes. You've heard the saying of wolves in sheep's clothing, right? So they try to pretend that they're not a wolf, and they try to come off like they're a sheep. Whole time it's three little pigs, you know. You have to pay attention to energy that never lies, but it's certain things that will tell you about somebody. And I feel like the biggest dead giveaway is listening to somebody, paying attention to their body movement, paying attention to whether or not they're able to use eye contact. And just because they use eye contact, it doesn't mean that they're not lying. It doesn't mean that they are lying. But you have to have discernment. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to listen to your gut. You have to pick up on the energy. You have to listen to hear more. You have to listen to understand and hear more than what is just being said. So what is being communicated emotionally? What is being communicated mentally? What is being communicated spiritually? What is being communicated physically? Because all these things tie into energy. Absolutely. Love and light. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Yeah, when I was younger, I just didn't feel comfortable with standing on my own. Although usually majority of the time I ended up back at square one, which is by myself, because you know when something is good for you and you know when it's not, regardless how long you try to keep rose colored glasses on, regardless how long you try to sugarcoat something, regardless how long you try to avoid being alone. We come into this world alone. It doesn't make sense to be afraid to spend time in solitude or to spend time by yourself. You know, when you do the groundwork for healing yourself and understanding yourself, then when you get ready to go places or spend time with people, you know not to stick around for too long, because usually when you outweigh your welcome, things start to happen, right? But if you listen to the fact of it is, you go and be mindful of where you spend your time, how much time you spend, and what you entertain, you will protect yourself and remove yourself from a lot of situations that can carry into and spill over into your life that are not, that will not serve your highest possible good. I do. I feel like I was living wrong in the past. And I know that sounds so weird, but it's like, with the understanding that I have now, I'm at a lot more peaceful state of mind. And before, because I dealt with a lot of manipulation, I dealt with a lot of abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, and just second guessing and self-doubting. From childhood, I was able to pick up on other people's energies, and I would take them on as my own, not knowing the deep-rooted understanding of being an empath and being able to feel what somebody else is going through, right? So I would assign myself to energies that weren't mine, until I realized, okay, you can feel this, right? But that's not your energy, and that comes with spending time alone. You spend too much time around people, of course, naturally their problems will become your problems, you know, because energies get transferred, demons get transferred, spirits get transferred. And if you are not releasing and cleansing and praying away these people, places, and things that serve you no good, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a hard time. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I feel like I was able to touch on the things that I was led to speak about. Just a reminder to stay away from anything that does not serve you. And you know deep down, nobody has to warn you about anything. Nobody has to shine a light on anything. Nobody has to pinpoint why you should or shouldn't be around this person, place, or thing. If you do not feel energized, if you do not feel uplifted, if you do not feel joyful, more than likely it's going to be the opposite. More than likely you're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to feel drained. There are a lot of energy vampires out there. There are a lot of narcissists out there. There is a lot of toxicity being passed around like that's the normal way to live, like that's, you know, a healthy way to live. And no, it's not. If you allow yourself to be in a distorted mindset, if you allow yourself to be in a low vibration, you know, if you allow yourself to not be able to see clearly, that's on you. But you want to start living in a more healthier way where you are taking care of your mind, body, and soul. And that means staying away from any person, place, or thing, or any vices that are going to strip you of your essence, that are going to strip you of your momentum to continue to push through and push forward any obstacles that may come your way. Some people want you to do good, but I've accepted that there are a lot of people that only want you to do no better than them. They don't feel comfortable with you surpassing them. They don't feel comfortable with you outshining them. Crabs in a bucket mentality. But you have to tune out the noise. You have to get comfortable with walking alone. And you have to own the fact that there's power in being by yourself. You're never really alone. If I'm by myself majority of the time, and I'm able to make these videos, to put out the information I get guided to put out, and people connect with me, more than likely they're on that same journey, right? You have to go through your experiences so you can gain insight, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I feel through wisdom, through knowledge is how we approach God. Because the better you get at understanding, we're not in control of anything, no person, place, or thing. We do have control over what we respond to, how we respond to it, and how much of an impact we will allow it to affect our lives. But everything else, the chips are going to fall where they may. So give yourself credit and just be observant. Learn to use discernment. Learn to pay attention to your intuition. Learn to pay attention to your gut feeling, and learn to pick up on energies, because energies never lie. It's not about what somebody tries to tell you. It's not about what somebody tries to give you. It's not about the picture that somebody tries to paint. It's, are you able to see clearly for what it is? You know what I mean? Your body is going to feel it before anybody says anything. You are going to be able to hear what is not being easily spoken, right? Because you're listening. Learn to listen to hear more than what is easily being said. Oh yeah, I'm doing this as often as I get guided. We're just getting started. Thank you for tuning in, Stevie. Thank you, Kenneth. I'm sending you guys love and light. I'm praying that you are being kinder to yourself. I'm praying that you are loving yourself to the best of your ability. And I'm praying that you are releasing anything that no longer serves you. And again, thank you for coming to this channel. Thank you for tuning into this video. Thank you for being interested in what I even have to say. And thank you for allowing yourself to connect. It means a lot to me. They're affirmations, confirmations to continue on, because I've received a lot of information that has helped me along my journey. And the only thing I pray to continue to do is be used as a vessel to put out the goodness that I've been receiving. So, bye.